And we're rolling.
And we've got Dee and her entire team on, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Josh Duhon. I am a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus Company. Welcome to our Healthy Living event. We meet like this every week and have been doing that for, nearly 4 years now, I think. Me and Carol Turnbow kicked this deal off a number of years ago, and it's grown, and we're excited to see everybody tonight. So I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of information about our company history and our products, and then we're going to go to a team of speakers that we have on this evening that are going to share their experience with these products, and some of them are going to share their experience with this business. So the Juice Plus Company is a pretty old company at this point, nearly 50 years old. I think we're actually exactly 50 years old. We started off in fire alarms in the 70s, moved into air and water filtration systems in the 80s, and then in the 90s, we made one more move into the field of health technology, and that's where we sit today. Really what we've got here, when I explain this to people, I tell them, look, it's just a juicing replacement because everybody understands juicing. Juicing is a very convenient way to get a lot of produce that you might not actually eat in one day in your body by drinking it. And all the Juice Plus Company does is we take that juicing process a couple of steps further. In removing the water, sugar, and salt, we encapsulate the micronutrition. And so when a person takes a dose of Juice Plus, and what I'm holding up here this evening is commonly referred to as our Core 4 or our Quad Pack. When you take 2 capsules out of each of these bottles, you're getting the equivalent of about 3 fresh pressed juices a day. So for all of us who have gone and bought a juice at Whole Foods or a fresh pressed juice place and paid $8 to $10 and it tasted fantastic and it was gone inside of 30 seconds and you thought to yourself, God, that was good. Man, I wish there was more. But do I want to spend $30 a day? Can I spend $30 a day drinking these things? Because you get three of those in Juice Plus, and Juice Plus charges you $3.48. So it's a big difference in drinking it versus swallowing a capsule. Granted, you don't get the fantastic taste or the smell, but your body doesn't know the difference. And consistency over time throughout a lot of things in life, certainly our health, is really all that matters. So eating like that, eating at that level every single day is what's going to make a difference for you in your health over the long term. And Juice Plus really just kind of bridges that gap, right, between what we're eating every day and really the variety of fruits, vegetables, berries, omegas that our body needs us to eat every day. Juice Plus steps in and it fills that gap, and it does it for $3.48 a day. So it's economically sustainable, even if you're trying to feed a big family. Our company does something wonderful. Every adult order that goes out the door, that adult can sponsor a child at no cost. So our company really does a lot of things to accomplish that mission, their mission statement, which is to inspire healthy living around the world. And we back all of our claims up about the health benefits with some great science. And that really also sets us apart because at this point, I think we have now the largest body of clinical data collected on a product-specific clinical data that exists anywhere in the marketplace today. And that's why you're going to see a lot of the community, the Juice Plus community, in the realm of the medical profession, because a lot of doctors, once they take a look at the clinical data, they feel almost a moral obligation to encourage patients to use this because, look, whatever condition the body is struggling with, better nutrition is going to help the body deal with it easier. Doesn't matter what we're talking about, from the common cold to arthritis to autoimmune disorders. Look, if you eat better, you're going to feel better, no matter what you're struggling with. So at this point, I want to go now to our special team for the evening, and we're going to start off with Dee Lucas and her husband, Jason. And they're going to share their story about what attracted them to the Juice Plus products and the business initially. And then they're going to go to some of the other people within their team and let them share their story. So Dee, if you're on with us, I'll let you unmute yourself and I'll turn the virtual microphone here over to you.
Thanks, Josh. So I'm so honored to be here and get to share my story because I'm sure there's some parts of it that are going to resonate with many of you.
Well, we sure appreciate having you on. Take it away.
Awesome. So it was about 13 years ago. I was in my late 20s and I was tired, constipated, and sick just about every month. Now, I had had sinus problems for my entire life. And at the time, Jason and I were full-time skydiving instructors. We skydived, we drank a whole lot of beer, and we ate some pretty terrible food. My diet was awful. But my mother-in-law, Jan Young, who's actually a PMD with a company, she told me about Juice Plus, and she is a naturopath as well. And when she told me, it was a no-brainer because I could count on one hand the number of veggies that I ate in a week. So I knew my body needed it. And at the time, we joined the company just to earn a little bit of extra cash. But after a few weeks, I noticed that my energy levels had improved and I was starting to use the bathroom every day. Now, it's a bit of a strange topic, but I'd suffered with constipation for my entire life, so this was really big. The colds that I used to get every single month that hung around for weeks were happening less and less often too. Well, we were lucky enough to move out to Dubai, and we were working at a drop zone out there. We continued to have our Juice Plus shipped out to us the entire time. But 6 months after arriving there, we found out we were expecting. The pregnancy was an absolute breeze, and Bailey was born just 19 minutes after arriving at the hospital. And to this day, I still joke that it's the only time in her life she's ever been in a hurry, and she's 10 now. So anyway, back to 2010, we returned to the US and we were still jumping for a little bit, but your outlook changes when you start a family. See, when you skydive and you don't jump because it's windy, you don't get paid. Now, when it was just the two of us, we could figure it out, but it wasn't just the two of us anymore. So if you think finding medical insurance is expensive, try finding medical insurance when you're a skydiving instructor. I can tell you it's not easy and it's not cheap. Now, when Jan told us about the business about 3 years before, she had mentioned that there's this full benefits package available. And we started thinking, what if? What if we could do that? And this was right around the time that Jan had introduced the Tower Garden to Jay Martin, the president and founder of the company. And we've been lucky enough to have grown a tower for about 6 months or so. And we just fell in love with it. You see, I had tried and failed many times to grow a veggie garden. I ended up with weeds taller than me, dirty broken fingernails, and nothing to show for all the time and money we'd put into it. But with the tower, it was different. It was easy, and I actually grew real food. And it tasted really, really good. So we got to work. We got out and we got to as many events as we could so we could tell as many people about Juice Plus and the towers. We built a team of a lot of others who wanted to do the same. And in about 18 months, our team hit NMD and got that benefits package. But for me, Juice Plus was the catalyst. First, I started with the capsules. Then I started to eat more veggies. Then I started cooking more real food. And today, my diet's probably about 95% plant-based, and I still take Juice Plus every single day. Shortly after Bailey was born, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, and that's an autoimmune thyroid disease where your body is slowly attacking your thyroid. But I'm happy to say I'm symptom-free, and I believe that my diet, my lifestyle, and Juice Plus play a huge part in that. Bailey has taken the powders from about 8 months old, and I can count on one hand the number of times that she's been sick with more than a sniffle. And she still eats more fruits and veg than most adults I know too. But this business has helped us do so many things. It gave me the time and the flexibility to become a personal trainer and a group fitness instructor, something that I'd wanted to do for years. We love fishing and taking the boat out too. And even though we lived in Florida, we were still almost 2 hours from the ocean. After a vacation to the Keys, we set a goal to move there in 5 years. We moved here in 3 years. And we set up a tower farm. We would never have been able to up and move if it was not for the flexibility of this business. And I think all of us can agree that this year has been pretty surreal. But when the school closed back in March, I was able to stay home with Bailey and not worry about childcare or where our next paycheck was coming from. And this business has allowed us to help so many other people as well. And it's given all of us options that we would never have had otherwise. So that's my story. And next I'm going to introduce my good friend, Rikki. She's up right near where my dad lives right now, actually. And she's going to share her story on why she got involved with the company as well.
Thank you, Dee. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love hearing your story every single time I hear it. There's no way I'm jumping out of an airplane. I just need to say that one more time. Although your husband seems to think he's going to get me in an airplane one of these days. So anyway, my name is Rikki Bloian. I'm a qualifying national marketing director with the Juice Plus company. And wow, I can't even begin to tell you what a life transformation this product has been for my family. 14 years ago, my second daughter was diagnosed with an enzyme deficiency. The doctors had no answers for her. They couldn't tell me whether she was going to live another day, another week, much less years to grow up to be an adult. They had no answers for what was going on with her. We saw naturopathic doctors, we saw alternative medicines, you name it, we did it. We paid out of pocket for testing because insurance wasn't willing to give us the answers. It wasn't until we finally found out that she needed raw fruits and vegetables. Well, I was a fitness instructor. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? This is a no-brainer. I can do this. I eat well all the time. Why didn't I think of this? I was already making my own baby food for her. I was one of those moms. Yes, I used cloth diapers and I still homeschool my kids long before it was cool with COVID. Okay. So I was that, granola mom that I thought was doing everything right. And then to come to find out that it was what I was feeding my child that was causing this issue with her, I had no idea. We began juicing immediately. And if anyone has ever been a juicer, you know full well what I'm talking about. I knew my grocers by first name. He knew me, although at first he thought I had a, pack of horses or something with the amount of carrots and apples I was buying. But I knew him. He knew I was going in there to juice. And that's what I did. And I fought with her. I fought with her every day to drink this nasty juice that she hated. She was 2. I don't know about you. I was not 2, and I didn't like drinking this every day. How was I supposed to get a 2-year-old to drink it? M&M chasers, anyone? Because I tried it. Yes, I would bribe my child to eat her fruits and vegetables. It didn't work. It wasn't easy. At this point, I had 5 girls. Yes, 5 girls. It wasn't anything I could fight with anymore. That's when I found these simple products, fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Wait a minute. You're telling me that this can replace that juicing regimen that was making me crazy? I was in. I saw the research. My husband read all about it. It was proven to get into her body and do everything that the doctor said that this juicing was going to do. Okay, it was worth a try for us. I was having, at that point, I had just found out I was, had just had daughter number 3, and we then had Juice Plus twins. If anybody's had any babies, it's not because of the Juice Plus that I had twins. It was because I was advanced maternal age. I'll just give you guys that one. But I fell in love with this, and it was fantastic. And I just started vomiting at the mouth. If anybody's ever done that, when you find something that you love, I started sharing this with everyone. And I have loved being able to say yes to so many different things that my children have asked me to do. But it was the fun things of the Tower Garden that really got me excited. I, being a family of 7, yes, we got hooked on the towers. And not 1, not 2, but a few years later, I found myself with 6. Living in an HOA community with 6 tower gardens in my backyard. Yes, that's a little too many tower gardens, if anybody wondered. I have backed down a few, not quite so tower crazy, but I do love the fact that my kids will run outside and eat kale right off of a tower garden. And yes, my 16-year-old knows the difference between tower garden kale and store-bought kale. That's pretty impressive for a 16-year-old. I don't know a whole lot of 16-year-olds that eat kale to begin with. So having teenagers knowing that they're strong and healthy has been a blast. And knowing that they're setting themselves up for heading into college, being strong and fit. And oh, by the way, that child with the enzyme deficiency that the doctors had no hope for, that would be my 16-year-old. And if you wonder just how healthy she is, she happens to be a 2nd-degree black belt and was also a competitive gymnast at one point. So I have to say that Juice Plus isn't the end all be all, but I will tell you that it was absolutely a catalyst that put us on the right path, that taught us exactly what we needed to eat, exactly what we needed to do to help every single one of my children be successful in what they were doing. And now, not that it's any easier, I get to be at home and help take care of not only my 5 children, but my in-laws. My mother-in-law was diagnosed with Alzheimer's last year, and my father-in-law can't take care of her. So they get to come and live with us, and I get to help them. I get to take ownership in the last few days and years, whatever it is, of their life. I get to be that support. I don't have to worry about going out and finding a job. I get to know that the things that I learned with Juice Plus, the things that I've learned over the years from these amazing physicians and doctors that work with this company, have allowed me and helped me to care for the in-laws that they wouldn't be able to have help with otherwise. So I would like to pass this on to Jenn. So Jenn is in the Philadelphia area, and she's going to share her story now.
Hi, everybody. I don't know how I'm supposed to go after those 2 stories. Those are amazing. And mine is not quite that exciting, but it is mine. So I'll just tell you what I have. My Juice Plus journey started about 6 years ago with a normal family, weeknight meal that by the end had completely dissolved into tears over green beans. I'm sure we've all been there. Now, I knew we weren't eating enough or the variety of fruits and vegetables that we needed every day. And honestly, I thought we were doing pretty well with my background in exercise physiology and nutrition. But I also knew we could be doing better. I just didn't know how to do that. I was tired of forcing my kids to eat things that honestly, they just didn't like. Those battles are no fun. And we were eating way too much packaged foods and quick meals. I have 2 athletes and my husband's a high school wrestling coach, so our schedules are crazy in the evenings. And the fact that I'm not a very good cook does not help that situation at all. So quite honestly, I jumped at the chance to learn about my friend's Juice Plus solution and what it had done for her family. And the products just made sense to me. My science brain understood fruits and vegetables in a capsule with research and science to back it up. And then there's a chewable version, you know, the little chewables that my kids love and they taste so good. I was completely sold. But in listening to my friend's story and hearing her passion for the business and her passion for the products and what it had done for her family, I kind of realized I was missing more than just nutrition in my life. I was missing my passion. I was missing that part of me that loved helping my personal training clients when I ran the health clubs. And I loved helping them reach their fitness goals and reach their nutrition goals. And I didn't have that anymore. But on the other hand, I still wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. That is why I left that industry, so I could be home to raise my kids. So I was really torn. But as I started to listen to her story, I started to catch that vision that maybe, just maybe, it was possible to have both of those things in my life. I could be the stay-at-home mom and the tennis mom in my case, and do PTO and all of those school things, and own a business helping people with their health and wellness, all while helping my family with their health. So I took a huge chance and I said yes to the product and the business, all on the same phone call to a woman I had never laid eyes on. And now, 6 years later, I truly feel like I have the best of both worlds. Dinner time is a joy. No more battles over eating, a stick of broccoli when we can't leave the table. My kids only see the doctors for well visits, and we haven't had an antibiotic in my house in over 5 years. And that's awesome to me. We eat very little prepackaged foods. I've actually learned to cook a little bit. My family is eating produce by choice, not being forced to. The fridge is super full and my pantry is pretty empty, which is a total switch from where it was 6 years ago. And I get to be the involved mom that I want. I get to do all the school things and all the sports things and be there to pick them up. And now with virtual schooling, which is kind of a nightmare, at least I get to be here for that and help them when Schoology kicks off and all of that craziness. And I can work around their schedules, which has been truly such a blessing. I get to share my passion for health and wellness with my friends, my family, people I love and care about. And I get to say yes to so many more adventures and activities and things for my family because of this business. I have time flexibility to also pursue some of my other passions that don't revolve around my kids and my business. And that's been something that's been new for me. And the thing that I didn't know I needed that I've gained is this unbelievable community of like-minded people that now, honestly, they're like my second family. Some of my closest friends have come from this community and they're here to support and to help you grow. And it's just been such an added bonus to the business. So I found a product that has changed my family's health for the better in, so many countless ways. And I found a business that I'm super excited to get up and work every day. And that's just priceless. Juice Plus is such a huge part of my family's wellness, both physically and financially. And I am forever grateful that I took that chance to say yes. That's my story. Thank you guys for listening. Up next, we have Sherry Simkins, and she'll take it away.
Thanks, Jen. Well, so my name is Sherry, and I'm here to share my journey. So our journey started 7 years ago, where my husband and I were married for 25 years, and we have 3 beautiful children. Now, I worked outside the home from the 9 to 5, and my husband worked at home to build a business. So we have dinner together as a family every night. And so we will have potatoes and bread and the meat and some veggies. And of course, we love our sweets. Our children love to eat, but when it comes to the things that is good and healthy, that's another story. We have tried many ways and tricks but no luck. At this time, we also found out one of our children is having gut problems and is a very picky eater. And this is our biggest hurdle. So as a mom, I was very worried. Seeing our child in distress and not being happy, well, I call our family doctor. That's what you're supposed to do, call your doctors. But we have tried every situation or try everything the doctor suggested, and yet it did not work. So my husband shared with me, he met a friend who could help us. So one day his friend, and she was going to be speaking. And so we went and we talked to her afterwards. And she shared with us that maybe we should try to add fruits and vegetables into our diet by using a capsule form for adults and gummies for children. She also shared there was a program where we can purchase one and support our child for free. And this is what was called the Children's Health Study, but today it's called a Healthy Start for Families. You know what? We love that idea. Just knowing that we can buy one, get one free. She also mentioned there is a business opportunity to help the cause, or you just never know when you need it. So that night, I signed up for the program and the business at the same time. After a few weeks later, we saw our autism child running, being happy, and our other children are eating their veggies with no problems. Now, my husband saw the Tower Garden, and he shared with me that he always wanted a garden. And since he is home and he's our chef for our family, and he is tired of throwing away good produce that goes bad, that we buy up from the store. You know, the Tower Garden is easy, and it's and as we are learning to eat more fruits and vegetables every day in our diet, the Tower Garden makes sense. So guess what? We got a tower. And our children like seeing our garden grow and pick our fresh produce. Well, now my children are in college and they are sharing their garden experience with their teachers and to grow clean produce in their schools. Yes, I am a wife and a mom who works outside the home, who is very loyal to her family and works for a company over 30 years. Now, the worries and the stress regarding to my job might be going away. And I don't want to go. I don't want to give it up. But just like life, everything changes. Just over a year ago, I was offered to take our early retirement with health benefits. And at first, I was not ready to do that at all. But I thought, what if I said yes to the early retirement? There is so much more I can do, like building a business that I sign up for, to share a business with people, to give a chance of hope, to inspire them to have another option, or put Tower Gardens in our schools, in our community. And the best of all, the freedom for me to be that wife for my husband, being that mom for my children, and be there for my mom who is getting older. And the best part is making new friends on the way. I am so grateful I said yes. So thank you. Now, the next person is Geneva. it's her turn to share her story.
Do I have to?
You can do it.
I mean, you guys said pretty much everything except for a few things that, I haven't said on my part. So Jeremy, I'm gonna look straight at your face. So I'm really like nervous and stuff. So I wrote a book, but I'm gonna go within 3 minutes. Are we ready? Are you set? Let's rock this thing, okay? I'm going to read it to you, okay? I'm Geneva Messersmith. I'm a qualified sales coordinator and/or VF. Been that way for about 5 years, still holding strong and rocking it and reaching more people. Now, with that said, about 5 years ago and further back, because we all had to start somewhere, busy wife, mom, alterations and tailoring specialist. You want to talk about talking to people? Wow. Okay. Early on, I had migraines, IBS, I had blood pressure, all ran in the family. So with that said, it was bad. I started flaring up. I tried to understand what I was doing wrong, like most people do. And with that said, I was like, I have a family of 5 to feed. What's going on? Why are we doing this? Why am I feeling so bad? And all the other people around me in my family, I felt really bad. So along with, making your dinners and all the food groups and everything, I also was in the military, and we had to do that for thousands of soldiers. And I was getting fit, I was feeling good, but I still had ailments. And why? So I got out, I met my husband of 23 years. We had 3 kids, and they started with ADD, ADHD, bipolar. I'm like pulling my hair out. I have hair now. See, it grew. Look at that. Anyway, so with that said, we went to the doctors. They gave us, take this, supplements, vitamins, had to find out something to do, something to take, I said, not something which we should do. And one day, and nothing worked, guys, nothing worked. So one day, a friend of mine at church said, hey, have you tried Juice Plus? And I'm like, well, what's that, juicing? And they said, no, check this out. So they shared their story with me, which was really fast. And I went home and I said, honey, I think I found something to try. So we ordered it. It came in. Notice I'm talking really quick. It came in and we tried it. And then it's different for everybody. I understand that. But for me, my migraines, my IBS and all that, everything started to slowly get better. Okay. Not saying it's a miracle cure, but we are actually flooding our body with the correct nutrition that I had no idea about, not even in the military. Okay. Our kids started getting better. They were actually non-active in school and eating the gummies and the shakes and everything. They actually joined athletics, which I never thought was possible for them. Video game kids, what do you do? So with that, introduced a partner company. So what they did was I said, okay, how do I join this thing? What do we do? They saw this, said it was very simple. So I jumped in. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to share people with what I went through and everything. So about 9 months ago, my alterations business started dying off. And I was really scared about it. And I said, okay, what do we do? And then it hit me. Holy crap, I have a supplemental income that actually bridges the gap from what I'm not making here to what I'm making here. And with my husband's help, I went ahead and started paying bills and stuff. And I was actually able to pursue a dream of mine, which is a certified health coach. And I did it through Dr. Steers Wellness Institute. And with that, I get to share with others. I get to have one-on-ones. I got certified in June, and I get to help people. And that's the most important thing. And I got a fantastic team in all of you, because again, what Jenn said, like-minded people will do like-minded things and help this grow. And Tower Gardens are awesome too. So thank you for joining. Thank you for listening to my very quick story, and let's rock it on and keep on sharing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Carol, we're going to switch over to training now. I think Cheryl's on with us.
Yeah, let me pause here.